All right, everybody. I think the mic is, let me double check the mic setup real quick. It's not giving me the option for the mic stuff, so we'll cancel that. All right, I think we're good. All right. Hey, everybody. We've got us a piece of black walnut here. I did a live stream a few minutes ago on Facebook because I was having a problem getting YouTube to do my live stream. So we've got a woodworm screw in, black walnut, and our piece is about, let's see here, we're looking at about 2 inches, about 4 inches. Yep, 2 inches thick, 4 inches wide. Let's slow our speed down on our lathe. We'll go at about a 200. Put us on our woodworm screw here. Now we're on nice and tight. Lock it in place. It did work. So, all right, I've got the computer across on the other side of the lathe. I may or may not be able to see any comments. We'll have to see. You should have a pretty good view going on right now. I'm going to pull our tailstock up today. I'm going to try to keep the live edge as much as possible on this one. So let's move this up. Try not to up. I'm going to have to move the camera. Go figure. There we go. All right. Now we got 1700 RPM. Let's start with our 1/2 inch spindle gouge. We're going to go that direction because we're trying to keep the bark as much as possible. So we're going the wrong way. Move up a little bit. Ugh. We are rounding it off now. All right, so let's see where we're sitting at right now. We have some cracking in the side here, which that will go down once we round it off some more. So, all right, woo! Almost lost the gauge, the gouge. And it feels like we're pretty round. I do want to pull out, I guess when we start going in and getting the angles in there, that'll start taking off some of this side bark, so that's not going to be too awful bad. Let's start getting our angles in here instead of being a little block. All right, let's go ahead and mark our tenon. Oh, great. Oh, there we go. The tailstock was up against the gauge. All right, now we got our tenon set and the foot going. Nice crisp little edge in there. And with it being 70 degrees out here, I've got the garage door open, so you might see a little bit of A little bit more dust flying than usual. All right, let's see what we're looking at. All right, we're gonna have to go a little bit further down to knock out some of those drying cracks. Yeah, you still got a good view. Let's see what we look like now. That's not too awful bad. I'll give that. We do have still some more cracking in here. That's gonna bug me. That side looks really good. Let's see if we can make it work. We'll change the shape to more like a pot to get rid of some of these cracks instead. Yep, that's working, I believe. Yeah, that pretty much did it. Let's go ahead and get this little spot right there, round off our base here. All right. Let's work that. That'll be good. CJ Goaded 8. Hi. How are you as well, my friend? All right, we got the outside shaped pretty well. I will hit it with a scraper real quick, and then we will sand and seal. Work a little bit of these. We don't have a lot of tool marks in here, just a little. All right. Let's go ahead and get the sanding going. So we're going to go ahead and make it. Nope, I don't want to sand yet. I'll take that back. I got to get this little nib off the bottom. And there goes the camera again. We got to move it. All right. And we'll give it a little bit of a design in here. There we go. A little bit of design on the foot. Now we can get into sanding. Let's make some noise. All right. Now we're just working off a little bit of tool marks. We don't have a lot of them in this one, so it's not too awful bad. And we did go for a pot shape instead out of a bowl shape just because of some minor cracking I want to get rid of. All right, 180. Yeah, today I've been having such a problem trying to get a live video going. Oh man, just did not seem to want to work appropriately. And my last live video, for some reason, it's only showing up in my live section and not my content. Put it in my regular playlist for my videos. It's not. It doesn't appear to be showing up in there when I'm looking for it. So I don't know. I'm not used to all the live stuff yet. So maybe eventually I'll get it right. That's 320. We got 240 here. Yep. Let's see what we got going on. Looks like we got maybe 13 people on right now. 2 likes. I think that's what this thing's saying for me. I'm pretty sure the last time I did a live, it showed me when someone popped on the video, but this one doesn't appear to be doing it. I don't know if it's my computer being different and difficult or what. And I've only got one comment that popped up so far, so it's all right. I just don't know if it's working. Like I said, I don't do too many lives. Just started to do them, vice all the editing and video creation, so I don't know. But we do have a good little pot shake going here. Hit it with 320. And then I will pull the denatured alcohol out. All right. Let's hit the denatured alcohol now. Ooh. And there's our black walnut outer edge of the pot. Now we got to get that to go ahead and dry off. And then I'll hit it with 400. And I'm going to do feed and wax for this one. All right, we're all dried off. Let's hit it with our 400. And then I'll pull out the feed and wax and we'll throw that on there. I think it's about time to switch out my sandpaper. I've used it on 3 different pieces. Not too awful bad. Okay, now get our feed and wax out. I'm going to pull the camera a little bit closer to see if I can get a better view. Nope, that ain't going to work. I'm going to have to leave you all there. I can't wait till I get the next camera. I got another camera on order right now that I can actually zoom in, and it's got, you know, a remote to where I can control the zoom, the direction, pan, tilt, and zoom, PTZ. Man, I feel old. I can't remember half this terminology right. So, okay, there is our feed and wax on the outside. I'll slow it down, let it spin for a minute. See if we can get it to get a not. It's not going to get completely dry for like 20 minutes, but you can try to get something going on it to where I don't pull as much of off the tenon when I flip it over. All right. So just so you can see it a little bit better, here is our basic pot shape black walnut. I think you can get a good profile on there. So we'll pull this woodworm screw off, plop it in there, take care of the inside. Where did my, there it is. Little piece of paper towel, protect the foot. Just give it a little bit of a turn. You don't have to be super hard on it. All right. We'll go with a 3/8 bowl gouge. It's a little bit sharper. All right. Now we're ready for our depth gauge, which is sitting underneath the camera a little bit. All right, slow our speed down. Let's see where we want to be at. We want to be right about there. All right, we've got our basic depth ready. Pull our speed back up. Now again, I'm not going all the way down yet. I'm just getting about a third of the way, so I don't want the outer walls to wobble while I'm doing this. There we go. That ought to get us where we need to be at. All right. Let's see. Looking good. We've got the outer part. Now we're starting to make our way back inside. So we can go out a little bit more off the middle. Okay. And again, I would have better light, but my small sewing light thing that I had that was magnetic is busted. So I've got to use my other light that's up here. It doesn't get all the way in. So, all right, real quick, because I'm getting ready to cut in reverse, I'm going to make sure that I got my chuck screw tightened. All right, now what I'm getting ready to do is, because I've got to go that direction, I'm going to throw the lathe in reverse and I'm going to go in that way. So then I can, instead of having to tilt way like that to get in here and get this part of the carving, I'm going to go backwards. So now I can look over the back and I can still follow the inside line. All right. So that got her inside shape a little bit better. And the thickness is pretty good. I'm going to go back this direction, and I've got a little bit of a tool mark in there that's a little bit thicker or sharper than I want it to be. It's not really rolling. And again, I just hit the webcam. That's why I want it to go in reverse the other minute ago. Okay. Go reverse again. Now I can just work this little piece here. Okay. And we're pretty even all the way around. Still got a little bit more thickness in the bottom. Okay. All right, now we can scrape the bottom, raise it up a little bit. Mm. All right, I'm gonna have to get out my little round nose scraper. Nope, I'm gonna have to go reverse again. This may not be a good idea. No, I'm going over where I should be going. Overextending the tool is what I'm trying to say. So you really have to be careful with that. Even though it worked and it got me where I needed to be, it wasn't the right way to do it. All right, all we got left now is to do some sanding. So I'm moving some of these tools out of the way so I can knock that out. 4, 320, 240, 180, 120. Forward, turn on our collection. Yes, it's the funnest part. Everybody, it's the funnest part of lathe work. And that be the sanding. First, it's actually not too bad. I'm pretty proud of it. Even though I had a little bit of trouble getting going for YouTube today, a little bit of problem getting things moving, I'm actually happy with this piece as of right now. So that's a plus. All right, 180, reverse. right, 180's down, 240. Moving right along with this one. Actually, we're going to go in reverse with the same 240. $320. All right, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of air. Denatured alcohol is next. Sneak peek of what we're going to be looking at. Not too awful bad. All right, we are done sanding. We're at 400. Time to hit it with the feed and wax. Now with the feed and wax, it's okay to go overboard because once it dries, we're going to throw it back on here again and buff it out. So it's a wax, so the wax goes on nice and liquidy, and then it hardens and you buff it out. So I'm just going to go over on the outside one more time to give it a little bit more wax. And the bark is actually sucking this wax up really well. So, all right, that's all I can do with you all right now. So I'll take it out, take it off, and then give you a preview of what it's going to look like when it's buffed out. But that's something I'm not going to keep you online for 20 minutes to do. So, either way, here is our profile again for our black walnut pot. Live edge, the inside. And now, like I said, all we got to do is wait for the wax to dry. I'll sign it, put on there it's a decor piece with black walnut, and we'll buff it out, and hopefully I can get some pictures on my Facebook page. So you'll see in the description I have my Facebook page on there for CJ's Woodworks. If you want to go over to that, it's where I post most of my locations and where I'm going to be with the business. Like the women's expo is coming up on the 20th of March. I've got the middle school event that's coming up next weekend on the 14th. And you get to see the pictures of items that I make. So I normally do a really good job with posting my pictures. So again, here we go. Black walnut pot. So you all have a good one. Thank you again for stopping in, and never stop learning.